All right, good morning. We're on the record in the 89th District Court for the County of Sheboygan. We're here in the matter of contempt of Beth Bridgman. It was committed and filed under the case of People v. Seth Flores, filed 23-0868SD. Counsel, you want to state your appearance for the record, please?
Melissa Goodrich, Wayne County Prosecutor.
All right, Ms. Bridgman is not present in the courtroom. Have we confirmed she's not out in the hallway?
Confirm that in the hallway.
Okay, she's not out in the hallway. Ms. Bridgman was, the court issued a order to show cause why she should not be held in contempt for the unauthorized practice of law and also preventing defendant Flores from meeting with his attorney before his arraignment. I do see in the file a proof of service that she has been served with that, and in fact also in the file where Ms. Bridgman has returned the...
This isn't just a contempt case. It's a full-blown collision between the court and a self-proclaimed sovereign citizen convinced that red ink and pseudo-legal theories can keep her out of jail. Spoiler, it doesn't end well.
It's now 11:16. Ms. Bridgman is still not present in the courtroom. Is she present in the hallway?
Not present.
Okay, she's not present. This appears to be a willful non-appearance due to the fact that she's returned the show cause affidavit and the order with it cut into pieces with the red lettering. Your offer to contract is not accepted. Of course, it's not an offer, it's an order of the court to show cause. She has now willfully not appeared. Ms. Goodrich, do the people have a request?
Your Honor, at this time, since we're here on a show cause, she's been properly served and also given an additional 15 minutes to appear. We would ask for a bench warrant to be issued. No bond.
I think given the willfulness of the behavior, we'll set bond at arraignment. So I'll issue a warrant for Ms. Bridgman's arrest for her contempt for non-appearance today.
She didn't just defy the court. She went full sovereign citizen mode. Ripped the order to shreds and scrawled, "Your offer to contract is not accepted." That's not law. That's arts and crafts with a side of delusion.
Also, I will represent myself.
Yes,
Okay.
we'll get to that.
I would like to say I'm here on special appearance. No, I think I have some rights here. I don't know.
What does special appearance mean to you?
It means in a common law that I'm a living soul. I am not the straw man of the all caps.
And you'll have an opportunity at a later time. Please just take a seat.
I've never seen those opportunities come back around. Thank you. Okay.
We'll get to that in a moment.
So
but
I am
now's
waiving
not the time.
I am not waiving any of my rights.
Ma'am. Okay. Thank you.
Ms. Bridgman, you're free to stand or sit, whichever you're more comfortable with.
I don't know how I would pull a chair up, so thank you.
Well, if you want to sit there, I have no problem.
Beth shows up armed with a full sovereign citizen starter pack. Living soul, common law, not the straw man. The judge? Her face says it all. This train just left the tracks. And when the show cause hearing hits, the gavel comes down hard. Therefore, I signed a warrant for your arrest.
At that show cause hearing. So therefore, I signed a warrant for your arrest for that non-appearance. So that warrant alleges that you are in criminal contempt for failing to appear at that show cause.
So
Failing to appear for order to show cause on Wednesday, December 20th, 2023 at 11 a.m. for preventing defendant Seth Miguel Thomas Flores from meeting with MIDC attorney prior to his arraignment. So those are the two contempt citations pending against you. You have the right to have a hearing on both of those allegations where your contempt would need to be proven beyond a reasonable doubt. You have the right to present evidence in your own defense and cross-examine and challenge any of the evidence presented against you. If you qualified and requested, you have the right to an attorney appointed at public expense. The MIDC provides an attorney for your arraignment today, just as a courtesy and as required by a
what is
statute.
MIDC?
Michigan Indigent Defense Commission.
You also, of course, have the right to represent yourself. Do you know? Well, first, do you comprehend the penalties? Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't tell you. So both those contempt citations, if you are found to be in contempt or you admit to being in contempt, you could be punished by up to 93 days in the county jail and or a fine of $7,500 or both.
She won't stop interrupting, and the wild part? She honestly thinks she's winning. The judge is laying out basic rights, while she's tossing around jurisdiction, contracts, and loopholes that only exist on YouTube forums.
He can't serve a show cause. I shot over a copy of it. He can't serve a show cause because you're not under bond. This is from the State Attorney General's office. I was still on the phone with her. I had filed the paperwork at 9 o'clock. She called me at approximately 10 o'clock. I was still on the phone with her till after 11 o'clock. And she told me that you could not issue a show cause because I was not under bond. Now I understand you have just precluded all of my common law rights by forcing me in the back door into your jurisdiction on this side of the court. And I know that this is not what was on the original document in its entirety. So you have amped up the charges based on the fact that I failed to appear, but I believed she was going to let you know. She was collecting information from me for you.
Ma'am,
Okay, now,
just understand what the judge asked you regarding those two charges.
Did you just understand that I think there's a bigger overriding issue?
But
Thank you.
Wait, hang on.
Thank
I'm
you.
not going to have this.
I'm going to fire.
She just keeps cutting in, and the craziest part? She really thinks she's winning. The judge is calmly spelling out basic rights, while she's throwing around jurisdiction, contracts, and loopholes straight out of a sovereign citizen playbook.
The rights that I listed for you and the penalties.
Why have they changed,
I'm
Judge
not
Gaffney?
answering that question.
Can the prosecutor?
No,
Why?
I need an answer to my question. Do you understand that? So you said you want to represent yourself, right? You wish to represent yourself and not have an attorney represent you?
Yes, I
Okay.
do.
If you want to do that, I must establish that you know what the penalties are and what your rights are. And I have to establish that you're not going to be disruptive to the court. If you refuse,
So are those,
then I'm going to appoint.
I'm not
an attorney for
refusing.
you. Okay, then I would appoint an attorney for you and you'd not be able to represent yourself.
I know, I listened to that with Trevor's case.
All right, so
Okay.
I'm asking you, and you saw what.
How
happened,
can I
Mr. Bridgman? So I first have to make sure you know what the maximum penalties are and what your rights are. Do you not?
Those maximal penalties are based on the charges, and I'm wondering how you arrived at a change in the charges.
You know that you could face up to 93 days in jail and over $7,500 fine. You understand it.
Up to that, okay, but I don't even understand what the charges are.
Okay. And do you have any questions for me about any of the rights that I listed that you have to have an attorney and have a hearing and present evidence? Do you have any question about any of those rights?
I have a whole question about the whole context of everything today, Judge Gothier.
It's really quite simple. When you have an order to show up for court and you turn in a cut up piece of paper of it to say you're refusing to attend, that this is what happens next. That's pretty simple.
Oh, did that offend you?
No, it did not offend me. It was a contempt of court.
She actually demands a jury trial for contempt. That's not even a thing. The judge stays calm, but honestly, most people would be ready to revoke more than just her bond at this point.
Okay,
So I can schedule this for a contempt hearing on Thursday, January 11th at 2 p.m.
I think that would be way too soon for me, thank you.
Why is that?
I need to get to some of the documentation and follow up with that state trooper, as well as perhaps a few other people, because I'm guessing, am I supposed to just talk to the prosecutor without the other witnesses that I had in my presence at the same time?
I could schedule this for the afternoon of Thursday, January 25th, then that gives you 3 weeks.
Thank you.
So we'll schedule this for a contempt hearing on both allegations of contempt on Thursday, January 25th at 2 p.m.
Beth doesn't want a hearing in 3 weeks. She wants time to educate the court. That's when it clicks. She's not here to defend herself. She's here to put the entire system on trial.
To the Michigan code and statutes.
You have all the rights in the Bill of Rights. I recognize all those constitutional rights. Of course.
Most of what I talk about actually falls under common law because it's common that anyone could understand it.
All right. so
That's
then
why it's called
you
common.
Set the hearing date.
Okay.
We'll bring you on the charges. I'm going to recognize that you are exercising your right to represent yourself and discharge Mr. Villanueva from any further responsibility in the matter. The only other question I have to decide is whether you should be released on your own recognizance, or whether you should be required to post a bond. But I'm going to hear first from the prosecutor and then from you on that question. Ms. Miller?
Your Honor, I would object to a PR bond in this case first because of the her failure to appear on December 20th. She had notice of that hearing date as she dropped off the show cause to the court that had that date.
She flips into full constitutional defender mode, but courtrooms don't run on Reddit threads or TikTok law. They run on statutes, precedent, and, most importantly, showing up.
Previously. So I believe, she's more or less, committed to this area, this local municipality. It seems unlikely that she would go anywhere and how she would do that. And so, Your Honor, I would ask that you set reasonable bond.
All right, thank you. Well, I don't believe that Ms. Bridgman poses any danger to public safety. I don't think she's a flight risk per se of fleeing from the jurisdiction. However, I do believe that she's a heightened risk of just flat out refusing to appear, as evidenced by the fact that she cut off the previous show cause into little strips and wrote that she wasn't accepting an offer.
Well, they
It wasn't
didn't,
an offer, it was an order
sorry,
to appear.
They didn't
And you can't
actually
have
hand it
people
to me.
just refuse to appear on orders to appear by saying, sorry, I don't want to. So I don't think that release on her own recognizance would be sufficient to secure her appearance. So I'm going to set bond in the contempt matter at $10,000 cash or surety to the full amount. There'll be no special conditions attached to it, however, just the standard conditions, Ms. Bridgman, that you have to make sure that we know if you change we have to know your address, contact information. You can't violate any laws in the state of Michigan or any political subdivision thereof, and you must appear for all court appearances.
so the whole bond thing keeps me under your jurisdiction, which I wouldn't have come into your court the same way today, except that you put me in jail, so I was.
$110,000 bond. That's how seriously the court takes, I don't recognize your authority. She walked in thinking she'd outsmart the judge. She walked out staring at 6 figures.